Hey, it's Jerry Akin at Pierce Chapel. Thank you for joining me for this midweek meditation. At the beginning of the year, we started going through the Gospel of John, and we've been on that journey for a little over 3 months now. And if you were part of that journey from the beginning, you might remember that the very first sermon I preached, I pointed out a parallel between John 1 and Genesis 1. The Bible starts off in the book of Genesis with Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. John started his gospel out by recalling that claim. And he said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And he goes on to say that the Word is Jesus Christ, that Jesus Christ is the Word of God made flesh. So there's a very, very strong parallel there in the way John's gospel starts in the book of Genesis. But there's more. This past Sunday was Easter. And so we read the story of Jesus appearing to Mary in the garden and telling Mary to go. And Mary left the garden, rejoicing, ready to tell everyone that she had seen Jesus alive and well. This is a stark contrast to the book of Genesis, where after the fall, Adam and Eve were sent out of the garden and they were sorrowful. As a result of their sin, they were kicked out of the garden. And they went, probably weeping, but definitely cut off from that communication with God that they had so enjoyed. In John's gospel, it's just the opposite. Mary leaves the garden rejoicing and feeling closer to God than she ever had before, because now she had seen how Jesus was with her even in her deepest time of grief. You're probably familiar with the hymn, In the Garden. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. That hymn was written about Mary's experience with Jesus. The author of that hymn was imagining what it would be like to have seen the risen Jesus in the garden. That same type of fellowship was available to Adam and Eve. They could walk with him and talk with him and experience joy, but because of the fall, that ended. But because of Christ, because of the resurrection, we now have access to that communication once again.